Along the Gulf Coast, in the historic waters of Mobile Bay, sits the USS Alabama. Now a museum, the World War II-era battleship was built to fight the war of her time. In the 80 years since her commissioning, war at sea has changed. Just a stone's throw away from this legacy ship is Austell, USA, a shipyard located at the mouth of the Mobile River in Mobile, Alabama. Austell is building the most recent evolution of warship for the United States Navy, including the fourth vessel to carry the name Omaha. The first ship, named after the largest city in Nebraska, was a sloop of war and was outfitted with the latest technology of 1867, a steam engine. The next Omaha was a light cruiser, commissioned in 1918. It remained in service through World War II. In 1973, during the Cold War, came the third Omaha, a nuclear-powered fast-attack submarine. Now comes LCS-12, a state-of-the-art littoral combat ship. It is the fourth naval vessel to proudly bear the name United States Ship Omaha. By Navy tradition, every United States ship has a sponsor.
The Secretary of the Navy called me up one day. I had no idea why he was calling. Never talked to the Secretary of the Navy before, and he asked me if I would be the sponsor. A great thing to be asked to do. And then I looked it up to see what it really meant. And when you look at the list of past ship sponsors, it's a pretty impressive list.
Philanthropist Susie Buffett was selected to be the ship sponsor by the Secretary of the Navy. She will not only participate in the ship's ceremonial milestones, but also foster a relationship between the crew and the city of Omaha. As ship sponsor, Susie Buffett became an official USS Omaha crew member, and her first responsibility was christening the ship.
It's a lot harder than people think it is. It doesn't always crack on the first whack, but it did this time. For the United States of America, I christen thee Omaha. May God bless this ship and all who sail in her. I was just so relieved. It took me, about 30 seconds to get past that feeling. The music plays, the confetti flies, it's great. We went through the shipyard where they're building other LCS ships. You can see them in pieces. They're almost like Legos, the way they build them and put them together. It totally reminds you of Star Trek when you're in there. It's really cool.
LCS stands for Littoral Combat Ship, and there are two variants in production: the Freedom class, featuring a single hull, and the Independence class, such as the Omaha, with a trimaran hull. LCS was built to operate in shallow waters to fight counterinsurgents who use 21st century terrorism tactics rather than conventional methods of war.
Our survivability is based on speed and stealth. We're designed to go alone and unafraid into the littorals.
The littoral environment is really, by definition, anything within 250 feet of water and shallower.
At 1/3 the weight of steel, Omaha is made from aluminum and outfitted with high-powered water jets rather than a traditional rudder and propeller. Omaha can exceed 40 knots, or about 50 miles an hour. It's been described as a weaponized jet ski.
One of the other unique things about LCS is that it was meant to be multi-role. So right now there's 3 different warfare modules: surface warfare, anti-submarine warfare, and mine warfare.
The break from traditional ship design includes the bridge, which has been compared to the USS Enterprise from the popular science fiction franchise Star Trek.
The LCS bridge is like a command center and an aircraft cockpit where you literally only have a junior officer of the deck and an officer of the deck to drive the ship, just like a pilot and a co-pilot in an aircraft. And then right behind them, unlike any other ship in the Navy, is the Combat Information Center. And as the commanding officer, that's incredibly important for me, because then I can move back and forth between them and facilitate that communication flow and more effectively employ the ship.
A cutting-edge vessel, the LCS is a bold exodus from traditional Navy ship design. And it's not unusual for new ideas to experience complications. Cost overruns, design and construction problems, concerns over training and survivability are issues that continue to be improved upon.
A ship is an incredibly complex machine. They have a lot of moving parts, they have a lot of instrumentation, and remember, we're only the 6th ship to come online in the Independence class, so not many around yet. We discover new things that need correction on them. Not that they're bad or wrong, it's just that they could be done better, and so we go back and we fix those things and then we move forward. I mean, LCS-12, the USS Omaha, is a beautiful ship and absolutely amazing in every aspect, including her crew.
The United States Navy granted Nebraska Stories behind-the-scenes access to the Omaha and her crew.
The crew is really what makes it all work. You can build the greatest ship in the world, but if you don't have a good crew to operate it, then you're not going to get very far. And Omaha's crew is outstanding.
Most of the sailors on Omaha have been attached to other ships. To be considered for duty on an LCS, sailors went through a rigorous application process.
You always try to push yourself to do something different. Go outside your comfort zone. My comfort zone was a ground fighter, you know, doing that side of the house, and now to pre-com one of the newest ships in the Navy was another challenge that I wanted to get involved in.
Magazine, chamber, safety, turn safe.
They're professional, they're competent, they're highly educated. So when I came in the Navy, very few enlisted sailors had college degrees, very few. Sailors, more often than not now, today coming in the Navy, have at least an associate's degree.
That education, coupled with ongoing training and smart technology, is what is making it possible for a crew of 70 to operate this warship.
Also at deck, topside rover, properly by BM1 Brave Boy.
One of the major differences between what we do with an LCS and what conventional sailors do on a ship, because of our small numbers, you're a lot less pigeonholed. You're not just relied on for one thing. You're relied on for multiple things.
Besides being the weapons officer for the gunner's mates, I am also the visit board search and seizure officer.
I'm the ship's navigator. So my other jobs, navigator, training officer, SAR officer, aviation coordinator, search and rescue officer. I think that's it right now. But yeah, a lot of different things. I've seen what 70% of the world looks like, and it's flat and blue as far as you can see, so really powerful.
Hi, LS3.
How's it going, Doc? I'm here for my physical health assessment.
We know each other's job. It doesn't matter just because I'm a corpsman. That doesn't mean that I don't know DC damage control or operation or culinary specialist of food. So some days you will see me in the galley cooking, right? Because it's a family.
They're multitasking and multitasked and multi-job sailors, and that's very much unlike any other ships in the Navy. They're learning something new every day on the ship, and they absolutely love it, and being able to branch out outside of their normal rating boundaries.
You're not doing anything wrong. I just want you to think about the hose, what you got, and everything that you can be doing with that.
I think what's been so successful is the fact that we are so small.
Open and bail! AFFF!
And there is inherently the vested interest in one another.
Plug it in. Your boots first.
Yes, in the lockers. White smoke.
I'm on, guys.
We're one big family.
And it's that sense of family Susie Buffett is embracing through her role as ship sponsor.
Everybody who's been involved in this really cares a lot about the crew and their families being connected to Omaha, you know, really for the life of the ship. There's a lot that can happen where we can stay connected.
This past summer, Commander Toth and Command Senior Chief Roll paid a brief visit to the city of Omaha, where they met community leaders.
I'm so happy to meet you, and we're so honored to have you in our city today.
I did look to see if I could bring her up to Omaha for commissioning, but it wasn't going to work.
Well, what I'm going to tell my crew is that they have a tremendous city and citizens standing behind them.
Congratulate you.
I appreciate the fact of coming here and how supportive the citizens of Omaha are of the military.
These people are going out there and doing something really, really important and special, while the rest of us get to live our lives because they're out there doing what they're doing.
You know, our ship is the fourth to hold the namesake of Omaha. For me, that says a lot about our namesake, about the city of Omaha, that it's continued to be selected to be worn on a naval ship. And I know that is a huge source of pride for our crew.